Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on August the 23rd. Entrust your loved ones to me, release them into my protective care. They are much safer with me than in your clinging hands. If you let a loved one become an idol in your heart, you endanger that one as well as yourself. Joseph and his father Jacob suffered terribly because Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other sons and treated him with special favor. So Joseph's brothers hated him and plotted against him. Ultimately, I used that situation for good, but both father and son had to endure years of suffering and separation from one another. I detest idolatry, even in the form of parental love. So beware of making a beloved child your idol. When you released loved ones to me, you are free to cling to my hand. As you entrust others into my care, I am free to shower blessings on them. My presence will go with them wherever they go, and I will give them rest. This same presence stays with you as you relax and place your trust in me. Watch to see what I will do. This one is kind of a difficult one for me because I can really feel within me certain seasons and circumstances where parental involvement, parental love, wanting to kind of step in, stand in that gap, and take care of things when someone, especially when they're going through difficult seasons. So I'm going to speak about three circumstances that I cannot even imagine the pain and suffering, right? So, how about a parent that a child is struggling with addiction? It can be food addiction like anorexia or bulimia. I've had friends who've said, my God, Michelle, I would eat for my child if I could. That attachment and that fear and worry and wonder. Drug addiction and overdose and anything that the parent could do to step in, stand in that gap. I have personal experience with a loved one and addiction and wanting to do anything and everything. It was a very close family member, not in my immediate circle, not my husband or children, but in the family, and going to the family anonymous meetings and learning all that I could. And I mean, even another addict in the program was like, you got to let him, he's got to miss his own car payment. Stop making the car payment. Stop doing this. You're protecting him from hitting his bottom. Y'all, that is hard when it is a loved one. And how about mental illness as the child becomes an adult and living on their own independently, and they're not taking their medication, and the heart and the pain that we go through as a parent when you witness your child struggling like that. But trying to surrender into that and saying, my Heavenly Father, as much as I love that child, that person, my Heavenly Father loves him even more. His desire is more healing. And sometimes we have to get out of the way so that he can then do the work he needs to do in that heart, mind, soul, and strength of the other person. So learning to surrender in these difficult circumstances, you guys, I know the guttural pain. I've been there. And it actually took this individual in our family. He had to go to jail and we had to leave him there. And thank goodness, I guess he's 2.5 years sober now, but it took that. Who wants that for someone they love? But sometimes that is necessary, and that is the safest place for our Heavenly Father to do the necessary work in that other individual's life. So I understand this reading very, very personally, and I think that it probably will resonate with some. If you can think of someone that will benefit from this message, please share this message. Certainly, if you've not already subscribed, please do like, comment down below how God is working and transforming this community. So I detest idolatry. Can you even imagine saying that a love of a parent and a child is a form of idolatry? But you guys, when it interferes with his work and his inability to enter our heart, our mind, our soul, our strength, because we're so focused on that earthly circumstance, That is idolatry. And it's learning to surrender and release into our Heavenly Father's hands. So the first reading is Genesis chapter 37, verses 3 and 4. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him in his old age, and he made a richly ornamented robe for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any loved them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. You guys, I think we can imagine that. We can think of family circumstances where it seems that a child with some sort of, I don't even like to call them disabilities, but different abilities or forms seems to become a favorite among the other siblings, at least from their perspective. And our Heavenly Father says this is going to cause trouble. And then it is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. And you guys, sometimes we are called to do immeasurably more. The more we are gifted, the more we are asked to do. Then it is Exodus chapter 33, verse 14. The Lord replied, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. And again, one of my favorite sections of the Bible is when we are invited to take on his yoke, to lay down our burden. We didn't invite him over to our burden. He already knows the plans he has for us, the plans to prosper us, the plans for peace. We're sometimes the one that kind of muck it all up and make a big mess, but he says, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. He will be our source of rest, peace, restoration, and even joy, an opportunity to smile in the midst of the storm. So y'all have a super blessed day. This one also is a hard one for me because I can truly feel, because of the brain and the way the brain works and the memory and emotion center that comes back. So this reading really took me back to a season of struggle in our family. And so if you're going through that, I feel you, I hear you, I see you, and our Heavenly Father sees you, and he desires peace and rest for you and healing for your family member. Y'all have a super blessed day. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.